So,
Hola. Low fast. Never try. No Hungarians in here?
One, yeah, I knew
What did you think, huh? Did I pronounce it right? Close enough. You know what I'm saying.
so I would like to begin on a sad note. This panel, unfortunately, is happening very soon after the death of the great actor Rutger Hauer. So I'd like to begin by asking both of you if you have any fond memories of Rutger, particularly on the set of Blade Runner.
I have a photo, the last one I took with him. I'm going to find it.
So Edward, do you want to talk while we're looking for the photo?
Basically, I think we were all stunned. I mean, we were always in contact throughout the last 40 years, but it's, you know, he was very private. He was just with his family, and we knew nothing about his sickness. That was the hardest part. And the last time we were with him, he looked really well. And so we were, like you, heard about it in the news, and so we were all caught like that. So we didn't get any kind of, oh my gosh, guys, Rutger passed. It was just, whenever everybody heard it, we all heard it. And I think that goes along with Ridley and everybody. I don't think anybody was pre-warned that he was that kind of condition, because he's
Well, he smoked like a fiend.
There you go.
Yeah, he did smoke a lot, so that was, I'm sure, one of the reasons why his health wasn't as good as it could be. I did a second movie, you probably don't know this. We did a second movie in India called something about the cobra. It was like an action figure, but action movie. But it never got released for various problems of the producers. But he worked the whole thing. He worked 3 months on it, and he smoked constantly. Yeah, so, you know, it's a good lesson. I mean, if you're a smoker, you might want to consider quitting, you know, because it is a crap habit. But yeah, and then there was a picture. The last time I saw Rutger, I know you can't see this, but you can see it afterwards if you'd like. And it was at, I know, isn't that cute? It was at one of the Comic-Cons, and I don't remember where, but he was pretty happy. Wasn't he on his farm? I mean,
Yeah.
He basically lived on his farm, and he was pretty happy to do that, and he didn't really, you know, take himself overly seriously, which is nice, and he was personable and warm-hearted and straightforward, you know, a very straightforward person.
I wanted to ask you about what your reactions were the very first time that you stepped onto Ridley Scott's set.
I'm keeping looking at you because I hope you'll answer first.
Well, I mean, it was, I was a big fan of Ridley's before I stepped on the set. And I knew the work that he did and the way he was working. When I stood on the set for the very first time, I was mind blown. He was a production designer. That's how he started his career. He was an artist, art and production designer, and he took it to the max. When he became a director, he just outdid himself. As we saw in Alien, and we saw in many films, The Duelist, and many, many things that he did before he did Blade Runner. And he was kind of like very calm and really, really centered and very secure. I must tell you.
I'd call it calculated, but that would be my interpretation.
We had a different experience.
Yeah, we had. What I remember about you, Eddie, is that you had come up with a lot of ideas about your character. Like, for example, the odd pidgin language stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you come up with that? Yeah, and I thought that. And there were some actors. One of the actors, remember Brian and the guy opposite him, who
Brian James.
Yeah, who's gone. But who was the guy that was opposite him, who was doing the interviewing?
Oh God, he was great.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
God.
great. He was a little like that too. He always had ideas that he brought to set, and you know, made suggestions. And in fact, Rutger was like that too, where he would.
Well, he wrote a lot of his stuff.
Yeah. He was always very energetic to participate and have input, and so were you. And I remember Eddie always having like deep in conversation with, you know, wanting to get it right and having strong opinions and strong ideas about that, which was different than my experience, which was I was more into, having come from being a dancer, I was more into just being told what to do and trying to do it to the